Good morning. I am really excited this morning. So happy to be here and to see that there are already some of you online. I had anticipated talking about quite different things until I awakened this morning. First of all, I was going to ask, has it been a great week, an up and down week, a stressful week, a happy week, a harmonious week? What kind of week have you had? Well, as I said, when I awakened this morning and saw that Singapore and Indonesia both have the most amazing promotions for those who process their essential rewards orders before the 15th of the month at a minimum of 400 PV. They are giving away a ton of oils, but they have a special box set about the Northern Lights farm and the Northern Lights Blue Spruce, and also a fluoride crystal that anchors these energies all together, and it's free. So I am so over the moon right now because the Northern Lights Black Spruce anchors this energy of compassion, of nurturing yourself, this balancing energy that we all require in order for us to be healthy, happy, grounded, effective humans. So I'm going to apply, this is a 5 milliliter bottle, but we have the opportunity to get 15 milliliter bottle free. Isn't that incredible? I am, as I said, over the moon on this. Now, I have been looking for fluoride crystals for quite a while, and to know that they're coming in with the Northern Lights Black Spruce is just, I will try to contain myself. So let's take a deep breath. Now, how can we really make our connections and stay a little stronger? Well, first of all, we're talking about archetypes today. That was what I intended to talk about. Whoops. So that's where we will actually start. Who knows where we will actually go, because those of you who follow me know sometimes we digress just a little bit. However, the archetypes, what are they? Well, let's first talk about what rainbow healing, what's the goal, or what are the goals of Rainbow Healing System and the Rainbow Healing Cards. The first goal is to learn how to make a strong connection with the Creator. Whatever your concept is, I call it the source, but that is your key to joy, to grounding, to guidance, to harmony, to everything in your life. Your connection with the source and learning to listen to your guidance. The second goal of Rainbow Healing System is to become the authentic self. And so it's important to identify the authentic self. Would you agree? And then the third goal is to refine who you are right now, to polish off those edges, refining yourself to become more and more of your authentic self, living in harmony. So those are three very lofty goals. However, these are what the tools, this is what Rainbow Healing System and the Rainbow Healing Cards are all about. Just giving you another tool to accomplish these 3 or 4 goals, if you want to put the harmony in there as well. So, this week I have done a lot of thinking, and so first I have done other videos talking about the archetypes, which are the picture cards, because every single archetype has positive and negative, or not negative, potential challenges associated with who they are. And it's just a way of beginning to play with and think about who we are ourselves and who the people in our lives are. So for those of you who have the app or a journey book or the cards themselves, you can play with them in any way you choose at any time. So one of the things that I like to do as far as the playing with these archetype cards are to actually first make absolutely certain that I am grounded and that I am connected with the source, that my sacred space is intact. So grounding, that earth grounding, and this is something that came up for me quite a bit this week. I've selected this card more than once, and so I do this. I may have written it, but I read about this in the book because we tend to forget things from time to time, and little things. So I opened my book from the cards. It's also in the app, but in this, it's in paragraph form. You have 2.5 pages of it. And there's some questions in here about this particular hologram. And it's about, in choosing to work with the element of earth, one will deepen the healing process, allowing the things that are no longer needed to gently slide away. It may be necessary to examine the manner in which fear of one's true power is manifested. Wow. Do you participate in the dance of self-sabotage? How many of us do participate in that dance? All of us probably, because we will get very close to what it is that we truly are attempting to achieve, and then we do something that will put a roadblock, will keep that from actually happening. So I'm going to apply these essential oils, the geranium, the copaiba, which cedarwood, copaiba, and tongquai, all three anchor this frequency, and ylang-ylang. I also have beside me my crystals of rhodochrosite, which anchors the forgiveness, the first glyph, the amber, which anchors the authenticity, and the rose quartz, which anchors unity, that harmony and collaboration. And as I am doing these things, I'm going to intend to make that connection with the source, make absolutely certain that I am connected above and below to the source, and intend to listen to that guidance. There are only two beings that truly know why you're here, who you truly are, your authentic self. And that is you and the source. So it's imperative that you increase that strength of the connection so that you can push all the things outside that are not supporting you and learn to listen and trust the guidance that you are receiving from the source directly. This is coming in all the time. We're receiving messages on many, many levels, and we forget to pay attention. Probably many of us are not in present time, so I'm going to use this particular blend We have so many wonderful essential oils and blends that Gary Young created that can support us in moving forward. And that's what this is all about. Our whole Gary series, Grow Actively Refining Yourself, is all about gently becoming more and more of who we were created to be, of learning to live in harmony, remaining grounded, and to have fun, allowing our inner child to play so that we are not always working. For those of us who are workaholics or have been much of our lives, that is a really key factor, to allow ourselves to enjoy things. Well, Stephen keeps giving me more and more bottles of fun. We must have 12 bottles of fun opened. So I'm going to use that because it seems to appear on every surface that I have. And the inner child. See, I just keep applying these things, don't I? Every oil, every blend that you apply is going to support you in some way. And what happens when we just apply something that isn't really necessarily what we require at that moment? Does anyone know? Is it harmful? No. Our body will accept what it requires at that moment, and it will eliminate anything else. So as we're joyously applying these oils, breathing them in, don't forget about intent, because we intend that the frequencies that we require at that particular point will support us in moving forward. Will be in those little bottles of oil. So whatever oil you're applying, oil or blend, single or blend, know that you can intend that whatever frequencies are required be available to you. So breathe them in, have fun. And so before we start selecting and playing with our cards or the app, we're, as I said, going to talk more about the archetypes today. I found that I play with them in many different ways, many. One of the things is that I feel that really and truly everybody was designed to be one or maybe two of these particular archetypes, because every one of them has positive attributes, many positive attributes. And they are the things that are part of our true, authentic self. Our gifts, our talents, our knowledge and abilities. And there are also some potential challenges, which are the lessons that come along with who we are. So as we begin to zero in on who we truly are, these little cards can help us. First of all, as I said, I really personally believe that each one of us was designed to be one of these archetypes, and maybe possibly two, but the reality is that most of us are so mixed up in having attempted to be like others and taken on things and given away our own talents, pushed them down, that we truly don't know who we are. So this is all about it. Now, once we are fully connected, and as I've been applying these oils, it's truly important to focus, to pay attention, and then to create that intent. Many times I will choose, there are times, I do know which my archetype is now because I've polished and polished to the point where I feel that I am beginning to understand my authentic self better. However, there's still always more room for improvement, but we can shuffle them up and with that intend to select the card which may be who we are authentically. Now, this is not really what I recommend doing. I said that was something that you could do. More often, I'm finding that it's very, very helpful for me to focus upon which attributes or challenges, potential challenges, would be helpful for my focus on this particular day or at this particular moment. So that is my intent, because as we focus on particular attributes that may be helpful for us or potential challenges, and begin to recognize how we allow these challenges in our lives, then we can, going through the journey of the glyphs and our refinement list, we can put this information together so that we better understand who we are. So I love to daily, or many, many, many times, to select one of these cards, or with your app. You can go to your app, to the select cards, which you can do as many times as you like, and there's one that for the archetypes, and see with that intent in your mind. And then, if you're on the app, touch on the card and go over and read about it. I personally love reading it out of the journey book, because, or out of the guidebook, because the guidebook is in, I change my mind from time to time. The guidebook that comes with the cards is written in paragraph form, whereas the journey book is in little bullet points of things that it will support or potential challenges. So whatever you choose to do, check out the attributes, and you may choose to muscle test. I use this muscle testing to see, is it positive attributes that I would require, that my focus would be the most helpful for me for this time? Is it positive? Are there any negative ones? Yes. So I would read through all of the positive and negative ones, testing each one to see which things would be most helpful for me to focus at this particular time. And I might choose the oils that I would apply based upon what I found. For instance, if courage was something, I would choose to use Valor Blend. If grounding was something that might be an issue, that focus upon my grounding would be most helpful, I would use the oils of geranium, copaiba or cedar wood, and ylang-ylang. And I would play with those crystals, and I would focus in my journaling upon what it is that I can learn from this particular archetype. Am I making any sense? Hopefully I am. So, remembering again that refinement is the key, I will suggest that you make sure, even if you don't take, I'm looking at my journal book and I've got my refinement list right here. I'm rewriting. I'm finding that it's really helpful for me every single day in my journal to rewrite my current refinement list. That means the things that I choose to bring into my life and the things that I just will not allow in my life. This is very important for our manifesting. So as we are rewriting and focusing on this refinement list, we are really zeroing in on the things that are important. And whatever card you may have chosen in your of your archetypes, look at those attributes and the potential challenges and see how they can fit into what you choose to manifest in your life, what you will have in your life, and what you absolutely will not allow into your life. Am I making any sense? So as we move forward, I have a feeling I've been droning on for quite a while. In order to, I'm just going to recap since I've kind of jumped around quite a bit. Our connection with the source, that's our number one priority or goal in rainbow healing, forming that sacred space. How often do you form your sacred space every day? Are you focusing on the boundaries which will keep the distractions and the chaos outside, and focusing on filling your sacred space with all 10 of the beautiful frequencies of the glyphs, and really allowing that connection to permeate every portion of your being, all the way into the DNA. This is how we can change our DNA, actually becoming who we were created to be, all the way from the cellular and molecular level. Isn't that incredible? So as we form our sacred space more and more, and listen and trust our guidance, that's our key. Then with that refinement list, as I said, using the journey of the glyphs to help us move through. And if you're using the app or your cards, selecting one of these glyphs as your focus, with the intent as you press that button or as you are drawing, shuffling your physical cards, intend to select the card that will be most helpful to you at this particular moment for your focus, and utilize the oils along with it. So, I feel like I've really talked probably longer than I should have. I could go on and on and on. However, I'm going to suggest that as we go through the week, we really focus upon our grounding. Our grounding. Stephen loves to say that he loves to play with words, and earth, grounding to earth, and also that connection to the source above. And earth and heart, if you take the last letter of earth and move it to the front, you have heart. So when we're not fully connected with the earth, we are earth broken. We are also heart broken. So as you move through this week, enjoy, play, be in present time, use your oils. And so that is the staying grounded. And the other two things, work on your refinement list every single day. Pay attention. Pay attention if it's changing. Pay attention if you're actually focusing on it. And play with the archetypes. Have fun. You will recognize friends from that you think of. You will recognize people that you think of immediately when you read about a particular archetype. You may also, as I said, see yourself in many of them. The key is, again, to utilize the information, listen to your guidance from the source, and have fun. And I'll see you next week.